Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about sleep paralysis. What is it and how can we overcome it? But before I jump into that, are you new to my channel? Welcome! I make videos on Mondays and Thursdays, so make sure you're subscribed and have your notifications turned on so you don't miss out. Sleep paralysis is when our body goes into the fifth and final stage of sleep. We've heard about this stage a lot. It's otherwise known as REM sleep. And REM, if you didn't know, stands for rapid eye movement. And we've talked about REM in regards to EMDR because it's that movement of our eyes that we believe helps our brain process through our day. But anyways, that's the fifth and final stage. During that stage, our mind disconnects itself from our body so that when we dream, let's say we're dreaming about playing soccer, really kicking butt, running, kicking, doing all sorts of exciting things. It disconnects so that we don't act that out in our sleep and hurt ourselves or potentially someone else. Like we could fall off the bed, kick a spouse, you name it. So that when we wake up during this fifth and final stage, our REM stage of sleep, our mind can kind of wake up, but our body is completely unable to move because it's still disconnected. After researching this, I found out that sleep paralysis falls under the blanket term of REM parasomnias. And the term parasomnia is defined by the Cleveland Clinic as disruptive sleep disorders that cannot occur during arousal from rapid eye movement sleep or arousals from non-rapid eye movement sleep. And they can result in undesirable physical or verbal behaviors such as walking, talking during sleep, and parasomnias occur in association with sleep, specific stages of sleep, like whether we're REM or not REM, or sleep-wake transitions. These parasomnias can be disruptive to both the patient and the bed partner. Because our mind isn't really awake when it's coming out of a deep sleep, have you ever kind of been woken up when you've been sleeping for quite a little while and it's like takes you a minute to kind of figure out where you are and what's happening? Many people who struggle with sleep paralysis report seeing or even feeling things when they wake up that scare them. And that's when they realize that they can't move because we want to do something, we want to react, and we realize that we can't. And this only makes the sleep paralysis more and more scary. But know that it's just your brain trying to wake up. It's not completely aware of its surroundings and it's trying to make sense of everything as quickly as possible. So know that you're not psychotic or having a psychotic break, anything like that. Your brain is simply trying to wake itself up. After much research, they've concluded that sleep paralysis is merely a sign that our body is not moving smoothly through the sleep cycles. They don't link sleep paralysis to mental illness or anything like that, but we do know that stress and changes in our sleep patterns overall can exacerbate but not cause it. It's also estimated that 4 out of every 10 people have experienced sleep paralysis. I know I have. I remember waking up in college. It's just this one instance that's like so vivid in my memory. I remember my roommate coming in and asking if I was okay and I'd taken a nap, and I was so confused. I woke up, I was frightened, and my body wouldn't move when I wanted it to. It was actually pretty scary. Now, we can have sleep paralysis in conjunction with another sleep disorder, or it can occur completely on its own. So if you're having issues with your sleep, please reach out to a sleep specialist in your area. Even when I was looking through the DSM to make sure that sleep paralysis wasn't in there, just double checking myself, there was a whole section, I want to say it was like 3 to 5 pages, dedicated to letting mental health professionals know when a referral to a sleep specialist should be made. And essentially, their recommendation was that it should always be considered and they should be part of your treatment team. I also want to make you aware that during all of my training and schooling, I was not taught about these issues at all. Sure, I could have learned a little bit through different internships or a specific job, but I didn't even know that sleep disorders were actually included in the DSM until I went to research this. And I only tell you that to make sure that you get the right help when you need it. Because not all mental health professionals will be equipped to give you that help. But now let's get into the treatment options because there are some. Don't worry, there's help available. And the first thing is that we need to keep track of our sleep for a few weeks. I have many patients of mine do this anyways, especially my bipolar patients, so that they can keep track of how well they're sleeping, when they're sleeping, and all sorts of stuff like that. So the first thing is always to start by tracking it so we can figure out when it's happening and how often. My second tip is to write down all the symptoms you experience. Just like when we talk about any other mental health issue, I always tell you write down all that you're feeling because, like I talked about earlier, sleep paralysis can happen on its own or in conjunction with other sleep disorders. So we want to make sure that all of your symptoms are getting treated. And my third tip is to get your sleep back into a more regular routine. Move your bedtime closer to where you want it to be in 15 or 30-minute increments. And do the same with your wake-up time until you get it into a more desirable schedule. And then you do your best to keep it there. Nobody's perfect. I know it can be difficult to get these things in order and keep them there, but just try your best. Because having a regular sleep and wake schedule can help tremendously. It can lessen the amount of nights that you have sleep paralysis or experience other sleep disorder symptoms. And my fourth tip, reduce your stress. We know that stress can exacerbate sleep paralysis. Also, doing hard work in therapy, let's say we're doing some trauma therapy, can make our sleep-wake schedules veer off course. So using some simple breathing techniques before bed, like the 4x4 breathing, we breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4. Or does anybody remember my really old video of relax? I think it was called Relax Breathing Techniques. I'll link that in the description. So if you're having a hard time right now, you can click over there and check it out and get started. But it can also help to do some simple stretches, like the yoga stretches. I have a video about that too. I'll link that in the description. But we find that doing forward bend, when we just bend over our legs, getting into child's pose, plow pose, or a spinal supine twist can all help our nervous system calm down and relax before we go to bed. Also, journaling. When you get home from work, instead of right before bed, could really help kind of unwind, let us get all the things we're thinking about out of our head and onto paper so that we can kind of put them to rest for the night. Because if we journal right before bed, some of my clients have reported to me that it wakes their brain up and makes them start worrying and getting upset about the things all over again. So maybe try doing it just a little earlier in the evening. Overall, just finding some ways to lower the amount of stress you're feeling can really, really help. This video has been brought to you by the Kenyans on Patreon. If you would like to support the creation of these mental health videos, click the link in the description and check it out. I hope that was helpful and at the very least gave you an idea of why we have sleep paralysis and what we can do to make it happen less and less. As always, if you have other mental health questions that you're hoping I've answered or wanting me to answer, check on YouTube. Search on YouTube using my name, Kati Morton, and then put in some keywords because trust me, I have like 1,000 videos and chances are I've talked about it. Thank you for checking back and I will see you next time. Bye.